Here's how you solve a Slither Link puzzle. I found this puzzle at www.puzzle-loop.com. You can just Google Slither Link and you can find these online. Alright, when you solve these puzzles, you have a lattice of dots, you have numbers. Throughout the lattice of dots, you have to have a loop of a line that connects, that goes around in whatever shape you want it to go around, and it has to go back and connect. And you can only have one loop. You can't have the loop cross through itself like this. That wouldn't work. And you can't have any loose ends that stick out like this. Alright, so if I were to solve this puzzle, the numbers tell you how many lines are surrounding that number. For example, here's a 0. That's really easy. There's no lines around it. So I'll put an X next to every place that a line could be around that puzzle. And that gives me a good start. Now if I look next to that 0, there's a 3. Anytime you see a 3 and a 0 next to each other, you know that this side is not a line, so all 3 other lines have to be filled in. Now one thing I always do, I go to a corner. Anytime I have an open corner, I put X's by it. And when I get in the middle, there are going to be 2 X's. I'll show you that in a second. Well, now this 3 right here tells me that I have 3 sides have to be filled in. This one is already an X, so I'll fill those in. Now when I look here, I know that this end, it has to go up. It can't go left, it can't go right, it can't go down. And oh, here's a corner that I was talking about. When I see a corner like this, both directions off of that corner have to be filled in with X's. And now this end that's hanging out down here, it has to go across. And this 2, it already has 2 red X's next to it. That's why I always put the X's next to a corner. So I know so I know that it has to be over and down. Now on this 2, there are 2 X's and 2 lines. And that's how I get off to my good start. On this 2 right here, you can see that one side has a black line. It's got 2 X's. It has to have 2 black lines, so the one next to it must be filled in. Now this particular line, it can't go right, it can't go up, it can't go down, so it must go to the left. And you just, that's how I do these puzzles. I'll show you another little thing. Up here in the corner, this has to have 2. It can be those 2, or it can be these 2. But it cannot be like this one and this one, because it has to have 2, and if you put an X right there, you'd have an end that's stuck. So I don't know which 2. I don't know if it's these 2 or these 2, but either way I look at it, the ones next to it, that one and that one, have to be filled in. So that gave me a couple more little hints. Now when I get to this point, there might be something that's obvious, but I'm not seeing it right now, so I have to use some logic. I see that this needs to have 3 around it. Oh, well, I do know what it has to be. You can't have a line sticking out at the side like that. So I know that that one has to be an X. If it has to be an X, then this one has to go up. And now it's pretty obvious that this one is going to connect right there, because if I went over here and up, do you see how it would leave a dead end? So I know that it can't go to the left here. It must go up. Now right here I need 2 around this one, and it can be these 2 and it can be these 2. I don't know which one it is, so I'm going to look around and see if I can figure something out before I get up there. Here's a corner. Every time you have a corner, you put the X's next to them. Now that I've got those 2 X's, I can see that this 2 has to be filled in like that, and then I can put the X's here again. All right, now that gave me some more information. So now when I want to get out of here, I have to decide how am I going to come either down or down and over. If I come down and over like this, and then if I want to keep coming down like this, you see how it leaves me with a dead end there? Or if I came back like this, you see how it puts 3 around that too? So by doing that, I have just figured out that that's not the way it goes. It doesn't go down and over. So it must go over and down. Now here's my 2. That one can't be and that one can't be. So with this one, I know it has to go across here. Now this 2 has 2 black lines. And now this 2 has 2 black lines. So that tells me that I did all that right. And I had to just use some logic to figure that out. Now, in here, I can tell you that I need to have 2 black lines around this 2. Maybe I'll go down like this, but if I'm going to do that, I need to have another way to get a line up and in there, and it's impossible. If this line went down, over, and up, it's going to dead end. So I know that this line doesn't go down, it must go to the right like that. And now I'm in a situation where this particular end can only go down, and this particular end can only go down. It can't go any other direction. Now when I look here, you can't have a line coming out like this, out of a straight line, so I know that has to be the X. And if there has to be 3 filled in here, 1, 2, 3. And now when we get down to this 1 down here, with this end, if I know that I have to get out of this corner, I have to get over to this corner. If I want to get out of here, if I want to go down and over, that just put 2 around that 1. And I know that I'm not supposed to do that. So I need to figure out a way to only go past this 1 with 1 black line. I can't go this way because that'll close the loop. If I go down, like I just showed you, that forces me to have 2. So the only other option is to go to the right. I'll go like this. And now there's 1 around that. And I like to fill in the X's whenever possible. It just helps keep me thinking straight. All right, so now I need to have 2 around this one. Well, it has to be this. It's obvious. I need to have 2 around this one. It has to be that. I need to have 2 around this one. It has to be that. Now, if I close this right here, that gives me 3 around that 2. I can't have that, so I know that one doesn't go there. But if I take it out a little further, now I have 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. So I've just solved the puzzle. I'll go ahead and solve one more just to show you maybe some more little, if I see some more little tricks or techniques. Let's see if I pull up a new puzzle. This one's pretty interesting. I think I'll just do it. I was going to click through and find a good one, but this one looks pretty good. For example, here's a 3 in the corner. If I have a 3 in the corner, I know that those 2 have to be filled in. They have to be. Because I can't have a blank like right here and then fill in like this. That'll leave me with a dead end right there. And the same thing goes down below. So I know for sure these 2 are filled in. I don't know about those corners. Here's zeros. I like to fill zeros in right away just to get them out of the way. They're really easy. Now I know that this particular spot right here can't be a line, because if it is, it's going to dead end. So it has to be an X. Now here's a 2 with 2 X's by it, so the other 2 have to be lines. Whenever I get a corner, I always like to fill in the X's. That's just a good way to keep things straight. And since I'm already right here, I might as well keep going. With this end, it can't go right, it can't go down, it can't go up, so I know it goes over here. And now with this, I have a choice. If I go here, I just hit a dead end, so I know I don't go there. The only other place I can go is down. Now I need 2 here, and right here's a corner, so I'll put the X. There's 2 X's, so I know that this one has to go this way. And now I've got 2 around the 2. I've got 1 touching this. I don't know where the other one is, but here's a corner, so I'll fill in the corner. And now, while I did that, before I come over here, do you see this 1? The line can't go here, here, or here, so that must be a line. Now I'm back to this where I left off over here. I can't go up, I can't go left, I can't go right, so I have to go down. Now that just gave me 2 lines around this 2, so I know that this one has to be an X. So now I have to do a little bit of thinking. If I need to surround this 3, and I'm starting here, if I went down and over and up, I've just come up with a loose end. You can't have that. So I know that I don't go down. I must need to go right, left. Now here's a corner. I told you I always fill in the corners with X's, so that tells me that this one can't be a line, so this one has to be. And now as far as this 1, I've got 2 of the sides filled in. One of these is a line, and I'm not ready to say which it is yet. But down here I've got this 3 in the corner. Now, well, first of all, I know that I got to fill in the X's. There you go. Those X's really help. When I look at this, I may be able to go out this way and come in and down. But if I had to guess, I would guess that this comes down and over. I'm not going to do that yet until I think just a little bit more, because I don't want to guess till I have to. But when I look here, this one only has 1 place it can go. It can't go up, it can't go left, it can't go right, so it must go down. Now that just gave me 2 lines around the 2, and that tells me that this has to be an X. Let's see what else. That's pretty much where I'm at for now. So now I'm going to do a little bit of thinking. This one can't go up, it can't go right, it can't go down or left, so this one has to go down. It's the only place it can go. Now this 1 has a line next to it, so I have to put an X. And so now that tells me that this particular spot has to continue down. Now when I look at this, now I know my guess was right. This does have to connect across here. If I connect it here, I've got a dead end, so it has to connect here. So now I've got 3, and here's a corner, so I'll fill in the X's. Everything is working so far. Now with this particular end, let's do a little bit of thinking and see what we can figure out. I can come down and down and over, and that would fill in that 1. But if I fill in that 1, let's just go ahead and look and see. If I go like this, down, down, over, that tells me that this would have to go down, over, down, over. Now I have a 1, I have a 3. Now I just made my guess, and it looks like I guessed right. I was hoping it wouldn't be right, but I guessed correctly. If it wasn't correct, I would have gone back and fixed it. But now I can see that I need to get this particular end and connect it to that end. And I can see a clear path right here. So I see that I did guess correctly. Sometimes you get lucky. If I hadn't guessed correctly, I just would have erased the lines and gone back. But you see now this one has 3 around it. This has 1 next to it. 0, 2, 2, 2, 2. And I am done. So I've just solved 2 Slither Link puzzles. They're a lot of fun. And remember, just Google Slither Link, or you can go to puzzle-loop.com. And these are a lot of fun. I hope this was helpful. Have a good day.